What's up everyone, Julian here today. Going to be showing you how to make PROSPA style breakbeat music. Go along this video, definitely check out the link at the top of the description. You can grab this full template, go ahead and get it now. This is the best thing you do right now to make the best breakbeat track of your life. Today, I promise as soon as you grab it, this is really going to take you to the next level. I've engineered this stuff to really help you guys out and provide ultimate value for the community. Thank you so much for the support everybody, and let's dive in. Alright, so we're at 132 BPM, and the first thing we got up here is our breakbeat. Now, when everybody talks about breakbeats, they think about obviously the breakbeat, you know, the loops and all that, and it is important. You definitely need those to be as great as possible, but really the magic comes from the drums that fill that in. Like you have this kick and snare here. Right, and the punch of those two elements is what's really going to make this work, because these breakbeats on their own, you know, it can only do so much, and because you're usually going to be sampling these from older records and stuff, they're not really going to have that attack and punch that you need for modern drums. So really, it's all about sort of fortifying those with an actual kick and snare. You can see here, there's really not too much processing required. I really just have a little bit of a high pass on the snare. This snare I've actually taken, it was like that, and then I took just the snare part of it. But these are really where the punch is going to come from in the whole mix. You just need a solid sample for each. Then we do have a breakbeat here. And again, really, you don't want to be doing too much processing to these. It's just a little side chain and that's it. But the sound should already really be what you want. Really, when I find people getting stuck is because they're kind of starting from the wrong place and thinking that you can take the breakbeat and do all this stuff to it. And really, it's like, get a breakbeat that's going to be doing what you want it to do already and then just fit it in there a little. And then the last layer to the breakbeat is these hi-hats. So I actually chopped these out of another break. Like if I play it for you, I'll show you like the full break. Right, I took just a... And if you play that with the kick and snare, right, it just fills that in, and then you can put that over top of the breakbeat. And there you go. It's all going to fit together really well. You know, everything's doing something different as well. It's not just a bunch of layers kind of doing the same thing. And that's how you create the breakbeats. The next thing we have is this bass. So this is basically defining the chord progression as far as the notes go. It's really simple. So we are in the key of, you look at this as D sharp minor. Basically, we're doing the 6th, 7th root, and then down to the 7th, right? Like a very popular, simple chord progression, but it's very epic, especially against those breakbeats. So the first thing here, as far as the sound, is this arpeggiator. Right, we're using that to just create that da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And then what we're doing is we got 2 layers of wavetables. So the first one, and then the second one, which you can hear is more like a sub. So the first one, yeah, is really just sitting up top, really more for the mid-range and the attack and sort of like the tone that you hear. It's a saw wave, and then this graphite wavetable. Going into a low-pass filter, there's an envelope on the filter cutoff as well as oscillator 2's wavetable position. We got a bit of noise unison, some amp, and then a high pass. Here's like no unison and no effects. With the unison, and then with the effects. And then for the bass under it, like I said, this is more like the sub. So it's just one square wave, a bit of unison on this, honestly, as well, to kind of make it blend, and then a low pass on the filter frequency, or an envelope on the filter frequency, but just not as much, so it's a little bit punchier. Put them together, and you get this full bass. On everything at once, I'm cutting out a bit of sub, so we're not getting too much. We're side chaining that to the kick, but not that much, just a little bit, so it kind of dips a little, and it'll just fit a little better with the break. Right, and then we're converting the bass to mono. Then we have this pad. So this pad is not playing the chord progression, but you can see it's playing, like I said, we're in the key of D sharp minor. It's playing a D sharp minor chord. And then at the end here, all that's happening is these two voices, which are the minor third and the fifth, go up to the fourth and the sixth, and you get that little kind of chord there. So yeah, this is like an exercise in having something where it is playing chords, but you hear if you play this, just this root chord against the chord progression in the bass line, it helps make it a lot more epic. And then at the end there, it matches when the chord changes as well, right? So it's kind of like musical texture is what I call it. Now, for the sound on this one, it's made with wavetable, which is a little bit more complicated. What we're doing here is we're using this jazz buzz wavetable and then this nylon guitar. You can see those we got a little bit of an envelope on oscillator 1 as well as oscillator 2's position, and then on the filter frequency, plus a little bit on the pitches, like a tiny bit. So just get that little at the start. Right? And we actually have two low passes here. One's on the MS2 setting with a bit of drive. We got some shimmer unison, a bit of reverb, which is almost completely wet. And this is a really good way to make something like this fit into the background more. You know, it washes it out and makes it so it's going to be more of a background element. Sidechain a little bit to the kick, and then just a high pass. Then we have this ARP. So yeah, like a very trancey, but also in a way very like 80s sort of ARP as well, right? Like I'm sure you can kind of hear that. So again, this is how we really know this is D sharp minor and not like this B major that's playing first in the bass line, is because this is a very D sharp minor arpeggio. You can see like we're doing the root note is D sharp. We got our minor third, our fifth, another root note, another minor third, another fifth. We have this minor seventh and then this minor ninth here as well. And so all it's doing is basically just like this same ARP, and then over here it just goes up a little bit in some of the top notes. Right, and again, it's that thing droning on the root chord while the bass line's changing. That's going to make this so big and epic sounding. For the sound on this one, this is made with wavetable. It's a very basic patch. It's just two saw waves, right, at different octaves going into a low pass with a short envelope, right, simple. We get this position spread unison though. And then I'll turn off the effects and show you what that's sounding like just right out of the synth. And we have some chorus. Amp, which really gives it that texture by just being at 34%, because if you turn it all the way up, it's too much. You just want a little bit of delay and reverb, and then a high pass filter. And then we have our vocals. So it's simple, but they're all pitched to different notes, as you can see, to fit with the key, right? And some of them I've unwarped, and then you pitch it down like this, you know, while it's unwarped, and it becomes a bit longer. And you can get more vocal out of it. And you also notice they're very rapid fire, like, you know, you keep these vocals going. It's not just like one every little bit or every 4 bars or whatever. It's like, these are kind of like their own leads. You know, you have all these synths moving around, and then you have these vocals very steadily coming at you. Right? And then it's all going to create this beautiful, epic sort of melodic thing. Like, this is really a case of all these different synths working together with the vocals, right? Now, on the vocals, we just have 3 things. A bit of quarter note delay, reverb, a long reverb though, so it's nice and ambient and big, and then just cutting out the low end, which is important because these vocals are definitely going to have some like frequencies in there that you want to get rid of, so it's not going to be too messy with the rest of your sounds. And yeah. So that's gonna be it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed. As always, make sure to like this video as well as subscribe, and let me know what you think of this video in the comments. Like I said in the beginning, you can get this full project file, samples, MIDI, presets. This entire template is available at the top of the description. Definitely go grab it, guys. I'm telling you, if you grab this, it's gonna take your tracks to the next level. Today, I promise you, there's nothing else like this out on the market. Thank you so much for the support. It helps keep me going so I can keep bringing you guys new videos like this every single day that no one else is making. Thanks, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow with another video.